Hey everyone, it's 10 Types and Mega Dream EX. The first half of Ascended Heroes is out in Japan, and I've talked about it some and how people are playing it a little bit, but today I want to take an objective look at, I guess this set, at least, a look at exactly how the cards are being played and how much they're being played. We're going to be looking at City League tournaments. If you're not familiar with the way that City League tournaments work, these are tournaments in Japan that are up to 64 players. So if we look at one here, you can say their events capped at 64 players. We can look at like this most recent one here, and if we go to it, you can see that it reports the top 16. So only the top 16 decks of these tournaments are going to be counted here. And it's the number of decks that the cards appear in. This is the order that we're going to be going in today. And this is going to be pretty interesting to take a look at how many decks people are playing these cards in and what types of decks and things like that. And I am including previous evolutions in this list, which you'll see will make it a little bit interesting. Normally I don't do this, but you'll see why I'm doing it today. Also, I'm only including new cards. So, for example, Mega EX, that's just the first one that like is a little played. This card's not new, right? So I'm not counting it. I mean, it is being printed again, but it's again. It's not, it's not a new card there. It'd be kind of silly if all the cards were cards we already have. And like Liz's Determination, yeah, I guess it's the best card from this set, but like, that doesn't really count here. Also, again, it is Mega Dream EX, which is a big part of Ascended Heroes. Ascended Heroes is going to be internationally is going to be made up of Mega Dream EX from Japan, as well as the 100 decks. I don't remember. There might be like Start Deck Battle Collection or something. I don't remember the exact name, but anyways, those cards are probably going to be worse, though they have looked decent. I've talked about them, I think, in my video yesterday. But anyways, let's just hop right in here with the first card here. That card is, oh yeah, that sure isn't in English. That's Mega Eelektross EX here. Mega Eelektross is pretty interesting, doing 62 to your opponent's Pokemon for 2 lightning here. And for 3 to 190 Paralyze. I've talked a bunch about this card for the fact that it isn't honestly super good. Also, it's tied here for last, the number 10 spot. And I count. Yeah, okay, that's 10. Sometimes I miscount and it's not 10. But yeah, Mega Eelektross is kind of cool. Obviously, Electric's very good for it, right? Electric is a good card. It is being reprinted in this set, but again, it is being reprinted, so it doesn't qualify for this Accelerating Energy into play. It's just one of. Also, it is a new Mega. So let me take a look at Yanmega EX here. We take a look at City Leagues. It shows a picture of Yanmega. The new Megas don't have pictures in Limitless here. So yeah. You can see nothing. You can't see a picture of any card, which is kind of unfortunate there. And it's tied again with a few other cards here. I'm going to spend more time on the better cards, but the next card here is going to be Canary. Canary is a supporter here. We see it played in a deck playing Electric. Not every deck playing Electric is playing Mega Eelektross, because Mega Eelektross is kind of meh. But Caнаry's a supporter that is okay. I guess it's the best supporter in this set. There's only 2 of them, and the other one's pretty much unplayable. So Canary here says you discard a card, then you search your deck for 4 lightning Pokemon or up to 4 lightning Pokemon, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. This is a decent Pokemon search supporter. There was a direct synergy with the Heliolisk. Spoilers, the Heliolisk is not on this, like, unsurprisingly, right? But the Canary is pretty good for getting a bunch of lightning Pokemon. We see this list here. This is playing the Electric, which is a support lightning Pokemon. It also plays evolutions and basics that are lightning. Miraidon EX also a support Pokemon. That being said, getting Miraidon EX off of Canary is kind of meh. Not because Miraidon EX isn't good, but they like do the same thing. So once you've used Canary or once you've used Miraidon EX, you don't really need to use the other one that much. But ultimately, having search supporters that can find utility Pokemon, it's super important, especially these ones that are not super versatile. Adding more versatility to the cards is really important, because if they just search your main attacker, specifically supporters, they're kind of meh. This other list here is actually Iono's. This is Iono's Belly Bolt with Iono's Kilowattrel and Iono's Voltorb and Levincian stuff. If you're not familiar with this deck, don't worry about it. You just have like some support lightning Pokemon, and Canary, as I said, works well with that. And now we move to the next card here. This is Dragonair, and also there's Mega Dragonite EX. These two are tied for, what place is this? 7th, I think. And yeah, these cards are They're pretty interesting. The Mega Dragonite EX, I put it above, but it doesn't really matter. But what it does is that it lets you switch every turn, and also for 3, you can do 330. Discard 2 from it. I stand by the fact that this card's like pretty bad. Um, Mega Eelektross EX and Mega Dragonite EX, they're stage 2 EXs with pretty moderate upside. Not that they can't do anything good. I'm not sitting here saying that if you have them in play, you have them powered up, that they're bad. They're not. But it's just hard to get to that point. And once you get to that point, they're like fine to good. I mean, you can one-shot most things, you can switch. Those are cool. You have a lot of HP and no weakness. These are good traits, but you are still a 3 prizer. You are still a stage 2. This is still 3 energy, and you also are weak to Lotus Clefairy EX, right? So this card does have flaws, but is pretty interesting here. And then the Dragonair, it allows you to search for an evolution Pokemon every turn if you have an energy attached to it, which is doable. It's mostly useful for getting your Mega Dragonite set up. I can't imagine you really playing it in a deck without Mega Dragonite EX. There have been a few lists played. There's this list with Electric to power stuff up. Also, there's Rayquaza. Rayquaza hasn't really seen much play. Just in this list, but it is a fun little Pokemon as a tech option within decks playing really electric, I imagine. And then you also have this list. Or not a Terra box. I mean, it's kind of Terra box, but it's Flareon here. Also with a 1/1/1 Mega Dragonite EX line. This seems like super sketchy. I'm not gonna lie. But it's something, but it's not sketchy subscribing to my YouTube channel, so make sure you do. Actually, it is probably sketchy because my content. Nah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Make sure you watch it out though. To watch out all. I can't speak today. What am I saying? Make sure you watch all my content so you see whether or not it's good. But anyways, yeah, this deck is interesting here. Probably not the best way to play Flareon, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of hard to power up. You can't Blast Trumpet to it. You can't Sparkling Crystal. I guess you can Crisp it, but it doesn't pay it in one turn. You could also Energy Switch, but I guess you could pay it in one turn using Glass Trumpet plus like Energy Switch plus like Crispin or something like that. But that's a lot, right? And then theoretically, the Dragonair is good for getting your Noctowls. You can guarantee get Noctowl. Of course, you got a bit of a problem doing that in this list. You don't play Noctowl, right? So that's not going to work there. Also, one funny thing I just thought about, there is a Dragonite EX, which is, of course, it's a 2 prizer. It evolves from Dragonair, and it has the fact that it's a Terra. That's like pretty interesting, allowing you to potentially pair this with Noctowl for a really interesting engine. Ultimately, it's like Dragonite EX. It's quite bad. So you're just playing it for the fact that it's a Terra, and then Dragonair is going to require energy, and you can like get the Dragonite EX as well as the Noctowl, but it's like an interesting concept there. But just thought of that. Then there's this other electric box, or not electric box. It looks like it's electric box because the only Pokemon's electric, but it's supposed to show Mega Dragonite EX, or Mega Dragonite, an image of that Pokemon, as well as an image of electric. But anyways, it's like similar to the other one we saw. This one is also similar. Maybe this is supposed to show Mega Dragonite, Mega Eelektross. I don't know. And then we also see this list here. This one is, again, pretty similar there. We also see like Wellsprung Mask and some interesting different options here, some utility options, because the electric does allow you to power up different Pokemon, and it's just a pretty good card there. Then the next, that's the same thing. Then the next card we have here is the Stunfisk. I showed it earlier, paired with this deck with Canary, but Stunfisk is a pretty interesting Pokemon here. I'm not sold that it's good, but it has the attack here, Snapping Trap for 1 lightning, which says it does 30, and then during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. Then during your next turn, which is after theirs, the defending Pokemon takes 100 more. So it's kind of interesting for you can do pretty big damage after attacking for a few turns, and you can hopefully trap so they can't like retreat or switch out. I mean, they can switch out, but hopefully they don't have that and they just can't retreat, and then you knock them out. This is really interesting. It's kind of like Maractus. Yeah, I'd say the best comparison maybe would be Maractus. I'm not sure. There's probably a better comparison, but ultimately cards like this, I mean, Pokemon that stop retreating are cool, but generally as like win conditions, this is not that. This is a way to steal an extra prize. It's really interesting. I've seen play. We see it in this like I'll just call it Lightning Box. Pretty much all the most of these decks are Lightning Box in some sense. This deck here is this is Mega Froslass, by the way. Mega Froslass. It's okay. We'll talk about that one a little bit later here. But then, unless I forgot it, and then there's also you have Monkey Dorian to get like more value out of trapping and things like that. This list is using Duststorm. You can like trap and Duststorm. I mean, it's a Dragapult list. It's relatively low commitment to include in the deck because you have the Stunfisk, plus you have the Luminous already for like Monkey Dory. I still stand by the fact Monkey Dory not like absurdly good in Dragon Ball, but it's definitely worth including most of the time. Then we have another deck also playing, well, not Luminous. So we got Prism Energy here, which is like the same thing, and then you can use that with the Stunfisk. And I don't know how good it is, but it's definitely an interesting inclusion. These are new cards, so people are trying them out in different things. You see it in this is like Joltik box here. And yeah, I mean, it slots relatively easily into there. You can buy time to get more energy on your board. I've always said that energy is the biggest problem with this deck. It has some really powerful attacking options and really powerful early game, but things can go badly, and if they go badly, they go really badly here. So Stunfisk kind of helping smooth things out. Definitely an interesting card. Does have 2 retreat, not too bad. I mean, you can see decks play Air Balloon and Latias EX and things like that, but it could be an issue as well. Next card we have here is Nightmine. Nightmine is a card that says Terra Pokemon in play costs 1 colorless more to attack with. This is pretty interesting here as a stadium to disrupt things. You can see it in decks that are very focused on disruption, like this Quad Iron Thorn stack. And you have a lot of other disruptive cards. You got Crushing Hammer, you have Aceral's Mischief, you have like healing cards, you have other disruptive cards. I mean, it's just a good card in a deck like this. Also, something like the Mega Kangaskhan Mega Lopunny deck, or the Mega Lopunny Dusknoir deck, if you want to slow your opponent down a little bit to be able to win, and then just like pull off your crazy stuff and win that way. Kind of nice there. Again, we see Crustle, another disruptive deck here. We see it in Raging Bolt, kind of interesting there. I mean, ultimately, it's good against a good amount of decks in the game. It's quite good against Dragapult. It's really good against Ceruledge. It's good against Charizard, right? So it's going to be good against these powerful decks of the metagame, as well as Terravox and like Flareon and stuff like that. So ultimately, it's a really good stadium, in my opinion. I think it is the best card in this half of the set, personally, but it is not the most played at this point. Next card we have here is this card, Light Ball. Light Ball here is actually, I think Mega Frost is actually before that. I think I somehow missed it. Did I miss Mega Frost last? Oh, it's not loading. Well, the next card is actually Mega Froslass here. Before. Is it? It would be before Nightmine. Okay. They're pretty close. They're not tied though. Mega Froslass though is a card that does for 1 water, 50 for each card in your opponent's hand. An interesting option here. Honestly, I didn't really think it was being played much at all. I might just like literally forgotten to check it. But it's being played as an option within Marnies, though I feel like it's a pretty bad option within Marnies. I mean, it's not a terrible attacker. It does have less HP than Marnies, but like actually doesn't if you have Froslass in play. And then it can do big damage for 1, right? So it like has value. However, you need to like change the energy counts to fit it in, and you can't really search the energy, so that like seems super sketchy. But if you draw the Luminous, you have an Ultra Ball, I could definitely see getting value out of it. At some points in the game. It's just a cool little option there. And then it's being played not on its own, but paired with Monkey Dory and Froslass. So it's like a similar idea, I guess, but like, really leaning into not leaning to Mega Froslass, but leaning out of Marnies. Ultimately, Marnies is really 2 different ideas. There's the Marnies Grimmsnarl EX, a relatively very self-sufficient Pokemon with a nice little search. I don't know if like engine, but you have the stadium, right? You have Spike the Gym. You also have the Monkey Dory Froslass package, a pretty nice option to do spread damage, though not very good single target damage. But Mega Froslass EX is going to be pretty good single target damage. You can Iono your opponent to a relatively big hand. I mean, I don't know if relatively big, but at least you're going to be doing some damage to a lot of damage. So definitely pretty interesting there. Ultimately, Mega Froslass is a card that is pretty interesting as a tech option. Ultimately, it's like mostly just a tech option and really good only because Froslass is a good card in the game, but it is still it's a pretty interesting card here. Then the next card is going to be Light Ball. Light Ball is a card that pairs only with Pikachu EX, because if we read the card, what it says is that your Pikachu EX does 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. Of course, there's only one good Pikachu EX in the game. There are a lot of Pikachu EX in the game, but there's only one that's particularly good. But this obviously pairs within, realistically, Joltik Box, which is the main deck playing Pikachu EX. I use Joltik to power up Pikachu EX, which is 300 for 3. 300 is like a pretty good amount of damage, but hitting 330 is going to be, 350 is going to be pretty nice there to allow you to one-shot Pokemon like the Stage 2s, right? You're one-shotting the Stage 2s. You're one-shotting Dragapult EX, Charizard EX. I was going to say Pidgeot EX. That's like the worst example ever, because you one-shot it anyways, and you hit it for weakness. But you one-shot it without weakness, and the extra damage, and then weakness. Anyways, so the stage two Marnies, I guess. Marnies also isn't like a very good example because you'll one-shot them with Froslass, which would actually be between turns, which is probably better. In this situation. It's not necessarily better, but anyways, there are some other ones. I'm sure there's some I'm blanking on. I feel like there's like a big one. I mean, there's like Gardevoir, which it will get you there as well. But you know, there's just a few of them. I mean, pretty much all of them it works on. There's a few that see play, which are like a reasonable portion of the metagame. So ultimately, it is a nice card as a tech option. If you got like Arven there, you can use Arven to search it for a better tool target. Honestly, you have tools to mess with energy, to recover energy or like retain energy on your board. Then you also have like Bravery Charm, which is like fine. I mean, it's not like crazy, but it can get value from time to time. I'm like kind of underselling it. It's a good card in the deck, but it's not absurd. Then you have Air Balloon, which is, like, I guess is good, but you also have Latias, so you don't actually need it very much. But now this is another good target. And Arven's just a good card to be playing like in general. If we look at other decks, I imagine they're going to be pretty similar here. We see the Stunfisk in this list, and then again Light Ball. We see Silvus running Galvantula EX. That's what it's called, Galvantula. But you know, it's pretty straightforward what this card does. You could put it into another deck. I imagine these are all Joltik. I didn't check before, but I assume. Well, okay, this isn't Joltik. This is Terravox. So it also fits into Terravox, the other deck playing Pikachu EX. Pikachu X, I'd say, is like a much smaller part of the game plan there, but it is still nice to get the extra damage. Ultimately, you're a deck with you have more search options as well. I also don't really like the engine in Terrabox. I mean, it doesn't really have an engine, so yeah, the Noctowl being able to search out the tool is pretty nice. Obviously, you have Arven within Terrabox. You still have Arven here as well, but yeah, it's just a nice tool option as well. You have Sparkling Crystal, which is like super good. Lightning. It's a lightning ball or whatever isn't or light ball. There we go. Isn't as good as uh the sparkling crystal. But it's I mean, well, okay, it's not as good because sparkling crystal is an ace spec, but it's still a nice tool to get. Ultimately, it's a good card. There's not that much complicated about it, but it is good here. Then the next card, the third best card in the set, is going to be Ends Zekrom EX here, or no, Ends not EX, Ends Zekrom. Ends Zekrom is a pretty simple, straightforward card. You don't really need to see the translation to know what it does. It obviously does 250. You can attack next turn. That's like the downside, but whatever. It's not horrible. You have a good chunk of switching with it ends. This card is like also very simple in what it does. I've kind of like at some points undersold it. It's a good card, allowing you to do pretty big damage compared to what you're doing before. You're doing 170 with the Ends Reshiram, now you're doing 250. You can also add extra to that using Binding Mochi with Pecker and EX. And then you also have a Shred attack that hits through Pokemon, which is like kind of cool. Ultimately, this card is good. It's like better than Ends Reshiram for the most part. There are times when Ends Reshiram is better, so I think it'll see play maybe as a one of. And then this is a two of or something. I've like looked at some different lists and some are playing it again. Ends Zekrom is a two of, Ends Reshiram as a one of. You look at another list. I imagine this one plays two Ends Reshirams, just one Ends Zekrom. Also, I do want to mention this list quickly. I guess I need to give an apology to Uncle and Fossil. I said Ends Vanillish, or what is this? Yeah, Ends Vanillish is just like terrible. Doing 60 stopping attacking. I mean, someone played it without the Vanillite, so or the Vanillux, whatever the stage 2 is. I don't play with this Pokemon a lot because it's not very good. So I don't remember the name of it. But anyways, or which ones? Oh, the basics Vanilla. It says it on the screen. And then the Vanillux is not in this list, which is interesting. Ultimately, this isn't like super good, but wanted to mention it. But again, the Ends Zekrom, at least a one of in pretty much any end stack. It's good. It's not broken. It's not flashy, I wouldn't say either, but it is good here. The number 2 card in the set, though, is actually Spectrier. This is a card that really flew under my radar. I will say, I don't think it's that good. But, well, okay, my criteria in grading cards is a little different than other people's. Like, everyone has their different criteria. But it's a card that what it does is it does 120 snipe for 3, but it doesn't in terms of damage counters. I don't know how much it matters that it's damage counters. Damage counters will allow you to go through Shaman, which is, like, cool. Wait, no, what? What's Shaman stop? That's not what Shaman does. Never mind. No, Shaman stops. Oh no, yeah, it stops damage to Pokemon that don't have a rule box. Yeah, so bench damage, not damage counters. So it will go through Shaman, which is cool. ultimately, is Spectrier like, is that super useful? I don't know. Tell me down in the comment section if you think that's like a really big deal. I feel like I don't really see Shaman, but I don't really play decks that get targeted by Shaman either. So that's a main reason why. But anyways, that is the thing it allows you to do. That being said, it does 120 for 3. That's the same amount that Screamtail does. You can also use this with the Monkey Dory. Screamtail you can't really use with Monkey Dory because you heal it off, and then once you heal it off, then you're not able to do as much damage. I mean, theoretically you could use it, but it's not going to be so good there. Ultimately, I feel like the Spectrier is a little niche in its use cases, but it is kind of cool as a tankier Screamtail for some situations, a little more versatile in some situations. So ultimately, it doesn't get stopped by the Stadium Battle Cage, which is pretty good. And it also stops your Monkey Dory. I feel like if you see a Shaman, you can like Monkey Dory the Shaman and then also just like attack their active. But if you see Battle Cage, then that limits your options a bunch, and Spectre doesn't get through those. Ultimately, though, this card like is decent. That being said, outside of Gardevoir, it's pretty bad. And Gardevoir's going to rotate pretty soon after these come out, which I think mostly matters for this. I'm trying to think if there's another card we talked about in this video that it matters for. Like the immediate rotation. I mean, there's like some lightning stuff, but I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. I think the cards are still like more or less fine with the rotation there. But anyways, yeah, this is good in Gardevoir. It seemed like a bunch of play. Someone played it in a Zadu deck. Obviously, it is better than Screamtail in Zadu. Oh, also Screamtail is rotating. I mean, Gardevoir's rotating, and it's not like you'd play Screamtail outside of Gardevoir. But I guess you could play it in. Does it work in Terra or not Terra? Ancient Box? I don't know. Anyway, so you have Spectrier here, which actually does damage not based on damage counts on it, but based on the energy like a normal attack. So you can use it in Zadu. Let's be honest, Zadu is kind of bad, specifically Slowking. I mean, like Slowking Zadu, it's fun, right? Who can deny that? But it like doesn't set up like it's pretty bad in terms of setup. But anyways, yeah. So you got it here. I'll take a look at a couple more Gardevoir lists here. A lot of these are running Mega Gardevoir. This one, not running Mega Gardevoir. We see, you just got the Frillish, you got the Drifloon, you see the Screamtail, you got the Monkey Dories, you got Mega Dancy, you got the Lilies, you got the Mew EX. So it's just another option within Gardevoir. We've been getting like I think one option every set or so. I mean, you see Frillish from or was it? From White Flare, and you also have Jellicent EX from that set. You have Mega Gardevoir EX from Mega Evolution. You have Mega Dancy EX from um, Phantasmal Flames. You have the new Spectrier here. You have Drifloon. You have Screamtail. You have Monkey Dory. You have some other options, I think, that I don't remember. I mean, those are like the good ones, right? I mean, Monkey Dory is pretty different as well. It's like a big part of it's like a big game plan thing. It's not going to be this like powerful attacker. You could attack with it, but it's pretty bad in that role. It's not like unusable or anything, but it's more like I mean, it's a support Pokemon, right? So if you attack with Fez, if you attack with Pidgeot EX, those are like not what you're looking to do. They're not bad attacks, but they're not that good either. But anyways, Monkey Dory is like obviously really nice, an important piece of the deck. In term like behind Gardevoir EX is a major setup piece in terms of damage. I don't know exactly the terminology, but obviously it's a good card. And yeah, the Spectrier feels like just another addition to the list of supporting Pokemon for Gardevoir that feels like pretty low, honestly, on the list, in my opinion. Lower than any of the other previous ones, I guess. I wasn't really a huge fan of Mega Dancy, though, or Mega Gardevoir EX, and maybe they've been fine. They haven't revolutionized the deck. I don't think anyone would say they've been like absolutely absurd for like cards. I mean, Gardevoir EX is good because Gardevoir EX is good. I don't think there's too much more to say than that. These cards that are good psychic Pokemon that want energy or want damage counters, which is like most Pokemon, that are actually like decent, then they get really good with with Gardevoir EX. So, anyways, long story short, this card's like good because Gardevoir EX is super good. Then we have the most played card from the set. I'm pretty sure there's a chance that the results actually change as well in the time since I like planned this and then I'm recording this. So if the numbers are slightly wrong, that's why. But anyways, the Snorunt here is obviously it evolves into Mega Froslass. That's why it's in the set. Mega Froslass, as I said earlier, wasn't seeing much play. Potentially it saw more play since I last checked, and that's why I forgot it at the beginning of the video. But yeah, I mean, obviously Froslass played a bunch in Marnie's Grimmsnarl Frostlass with Munkidori there. So yeah, I mean it's the best Snorunt. It has 70 HP and it also has one retreat. So I think the other ones have 60 HP. Its attack is unusable, presumably. I mean it's not necessarily unusable in every deck, but that plays it. But if you're not playing Mega Frostlass, it's presumably going to be. I mean if you're playing Marnie's without Mega Frostlass, it's going to be unusable. So yeah, I mean it's not an interesting card. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't think I ranked it in the top cards from the set, not because it's bad, but because it doesn't really. I mean, it doesn't like do anything, right? Um, like you can't attack with it. It doesn't have like an ability. So yeah, but it has more. It has 10 more HP than the other. Snow 70 HP. If you don't know, it's by far the best amount of HP to have in the. I mean, I guess if you had like 5,000 HP, that'd be better. But you have 70, meaning you can survive Dragon Ball and some other things kind of similarly, but mostly Dragon Ball. Then on top of that, you're also able to be searched off of Buddy Buddy Poffin, which is like super good. Both those things are super important in this deck, and so getting the 70 HP Snorunt is really nice. Ultimately, as I said, there's not that much to see with this card. It's kind of boring, but it's good. It's gonna see a lot of play. This is one of those cards where I'd say it's seeing a lot of play, but not necessarily because it's good. I say that's honestly true for Spectrier as well. Spectrier has a legitimate like power, but it's not like most of its drawing on most of its power is drawn from Gardevoir. But anyways, this is the most played card from the set. If you say it's the best card, then I mean there's a reason to say that. But anyways, tell me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are on this set. If you're excited for it, I'm obviously always excited for new sets. If you have other new stuff you want me to talk about, make sure you leave it down below in the comment section as well. But I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.